would do everything to help me get there. There was one flaw in their argument. I couldn't go back to my homeland, Iraq. Well, not if I wanted to avoid imprisonment, torture, and, probably, execution. Happily, I survived the hateful onslaught and eventually thrived in my new country, to the extent that I can now play a significant role in helping hundreds of people transform their lives. Often I'm doing it through hip and knee replacements, which restore pain-free mobility to people who have been crippled by arthritis and other joint problems. For scores more above-the-knee amputees like Michael, osseointegration has delivered an even greater transformation. To be able to make such a huge contribution to improving people's lives is my major motivation. But when I arrived in Australia, there was absolutely no indication I would ever be in a position to make such a contribution. A lot had unfolded over the intervening years to transport the boy from Baghdad to the man at Windsor Castle. Along the way, there were confronting challenges. I was subjected to degradation I wouldn't wish on anyone, but overall the experiences have served to shape my character and have made me even more determined to help change people's lives for the better, forever. Chapter 1. The Beginning of the End. I was born by caesarean section at the Al-Hadari Private Hospital in Baghdad on the 25th of June, 1972. My mother was aged 42 and my father 65. They had met in Baghdad 2 years earlier at an exhibition of art by the children of the primary school, where, at the time, my mother was the principal. Neither had been married before. My mother, Camilla al-Turk, was born in Basra, in the south of Iraq, and was the third of 10 children in a poor family. She had 5 sisters and 4 brothers. As well as teaching, she had raised 6 of her younger siblings, assuming the role of parent and breadwinner after their mother and father both died young. Her 2 older sisters and one of her younger sisters had married and left the family home. The rest relied on her. Shortly after meeting my father, my mother was demoted from principal to teacher at the school for refusing to join the Ba'ath Party. She was forced to retire altogether when she married my father, because the Ba'athists were opposed to his political and professional affiliations. It was a strange decision. Until the day she died, my mother was always a great admirer of Saddam Hussein. She just didn't want to join the party. My father's family was at the other end of the economic, social, and political spectrum. He was from one of Iraq's traditional ruling families. Through him, I am descended from the Prophet Muhammad, and my grandfather was the head of the Sunni faith in large parts of Iraq and the Muslim world. The leadership of that section of the Sunni faith is handed down through the family, but neither my father nor his older brother would accept the role when my grandfather died. Instead, it was passed to a cousin. Also, through my father, I'm descended from the most traditional of Iraqi aristocracy, one of the 9 families that originally ruled Baghdad. My father, Abdul Rasak Al Muderis, spent his whole life based in Baghdad. He was the second oldest of 5 children. He had an older brother and 3 younger sisters, and was an intellectual, a lawyer, who rose to become a judge. Over the years, he had established a wealthy lifestyle and extensive contacts among the intelligentsia and artistic elite. His older brother, Mahmud, also reached high office. He held a number of ministerial portfolios, but is probably better remembered